Hello, everyone, and welcome to Officially Unofficial, the official PSL podcast. That's not at all a tongue twister at all. Don't don't at me. Uh, Hi, I'm part two, and with me I have the other two officials, who I've managed to rope into this. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I guess I'll
You
go first
start.
then.
You went second last time.
Okay.
Wait.
I didn't think we were having an organized order for this. All right.
Organized, only as much as we need to pretend it's organized, you know?
I think we can tell we don't have a plan here. Hi, I'm Icy.
And that leaves.
Me. Hi, I'm Arbiter. I'm the person that. Well, I've been involved in like 5 different discussions about this iteration,
Yeah, it's true.
and I was in all of them for some reason.
Yeah, this has been one of those things that just kind of kept getting brought up, and finally, it's being done. It's being done. Like we're actually doing it.
Just in time for playoffs.
True.
Crossing one thing off of our long bucket lists.
Yeah.
The next thing to be done in 2 years will be that TRG tournament we talked about in season 1.
Oh God, I don't even know if we can at this point. Well,
I feel like we need to do it just as a farewell for Splatoon 2 or an introduction to Splatoon 3. It needs to be one of those two.
yeah,
Those
maybe.
are the most likely.
Yeah.
Might have to give it a couple months before Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, now that we've gotten the most scuffed attempt at this, we've got. Hey, look, this looks a whole lot more professional on the Twitch stream. Now we have an
Yeah.
overlay. We have the Discord call. We have the
a
chat.
title. We have a title, Officially Unofficial.
It's
Official
true.
ideas from unofficial sources.
Presented by Hita.
Sure, that works. That works as a slogan. Yeah.
Well, good, because we probably should have gone the other way. Official sources for unofficial information.
Yeah, all right. That'll do. So, anyway, we're talking PSL to start out, of course, because we are a PSL podcast. So,
What?
let's
We're a PSL podcast?
let's
I was
talk.
here for Riptide.
That's not for another few months. You hush now.
Oh.
We've got to talk about the week's matches, as it is currently most of the way through the week, and the matches for the week that this episode is on is that they haven't happened yet. So,
As prior to the last time we recorded this podcast, where 3 of them were happening at the time of recording.
yeah, the pilot episode was more than a little bit weird when it came to timing.
From one extreme to the other.
Yeah,
Amazing what a week does, huh?
It's been 3.
true. I wanted to do the first proper episode last week, but but then I also had a match, so
Yeah, the day we were supposed to do it. So.
I forgot what Thursday was.
What is time anyway? What is this concept of which you speak of?
I don't know anymore. Either way, what have we got? What do we got for some of the highlights for this week? Do you think speculative for what the matchups will be?
The matchups to watch? I've got 3 or 4, 3 or 4 big ones. We'll see what you guys think of them. UCSD versus IRS. This is a match for top 4 placing. Both teams have clinched their playoff spot, but the most important seedings are the matches between them. We have Firefin versus Claptraps, 2 teams that we're not quite sure the power level of yet, but obviously them fighting each other should give us a better idea. We have Splashdown versus Liquidators fighting for the final playoff spots. And then we have Ocean 7 versus Seoul, another top 4 seeding matchup. Wait. Yes. For some reason, I thought Ocean 7 Soul was last week.
This is the process of time not being a factor anymore. This season has messed us up more than we realize.
We don't even know what week we're in anymore.
Uh,
To be fair, Arbiter is the only one of the three of us here that does not have a team at the moment.
Yay. You say that like I'm not involved in coaching 3 of them.
Well, I mean, you're involved with coaching. You're not involved with scheduling.
Okay.
So,
Anyway,
for whatever that means.
so only one of the matches I think has been scheduled so far.
I saw, like, I think a couple of them getting pinged out.
Splat iOS what? Yes, is on the schedule. Oh, Dolphins name withheld is on the schedule. Okay.
Gotcha.
So both of one of those on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is Splat versus iOSYS, and then Dolphins Refresh versus Name Withheld on Sunday at 8 p.m. EST as well.
Oh boy, competing with the start of the NBA playoffs. What a time!
Who?
Well, you know, only some of us actually follow sports, so...
What's an NBA? All I know is
uh,
NHL.
my
What is
brain
this
is turned
NBA?
off until the NHL playoffs actually start. Just gonna say that because the East is pretty much already set. Nothing matters.
Yeah, but the West is a death match.
Yeah.
That is true.
Easter is on the way also, so, like, scheduling for
That's
this is gonna be...
probably why the schedules have been very late to come out. People are probably trying to figure out if they're going to play early next week or try and fit it in this weekend.
I've seen a couple of people, I think I saw, like, one or two matches get scheduled for Easter, but, like, late at night, so, at least for Eastern, so...
I've seen I know 2 matches are going into next week for almost certain.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest, I only know about 4 matches. The 2 that are scheduled and the 2 that are next week.
Yeah.
But I'm sure people will be good about playing them.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
Benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt.
Other matches we have not mentioned yet. Obviously, I touched on iOSYS, Splat, and Name Withheld Spectacular Dolphins, but we also have. Oh no, that's it. Because Slingers and Courageous Boomers Retirement Home are both on bye.
Yeah. Inkslingers, yeah, for our part, we've been we've been kind of dormant this week as a result of that.
Except for one instance that I'm sure we're not going to talk about
Not really.
on this
No.
podcast. But that's kind of what's happening on this week.
Mhm.
In terms, this is the match as I'm looking out for. Obviously, Splat looking to get any points that they can because they have the largest way to go to get back into the playoff race.
Yeah. They're gonna
It's gonna be
have... They've got to pull out all the stops here, and it's going to be a tough one for them. I feel real bad for them. The fact that their point total has been so low all season.
To be fair, I was just rooting them on to see if they were gonna get anything. Thankfully, they did. So
they've started getting a couple wins, but I'm concerned that they may have run out of matches they're supposed to win. Because they've lost sets already to the teams they're chasing.
yeah.
But we'll see what's happened. It's not impossible. It's not out of the realm of possibility yet.
Not yet.
They're going to
But
be
I don't know if you saw that when someone asked me earlier about the numbers for the other teams. And
they're going to be looking at Splashdown versus Liquidators to see which team they have to chase down.
yeah, they have a lot in front of them. It's not only about what they have to do; they need outside help. Like that is a requirement for them.
Yeah. That being said, you want to talk about the playoff picture happening so far?
Yeah, we've already got what, 4 teams that have clinched now at this point?
5. 5.
It was 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Ocean 7, UCSD, Name Withheld, IRS, and Team Soul that have all clinched.
Yeah, that all tracks so far. With the
All,
weeks winding down, that number is going to get higher, obviously.
all clinching within 24 hours, which just kind of tells you how the race for the top 4 seeds and the first round bye is going.
Still a bit in flux now, isn't it?
Still a little bit in flux, and there's a team outside of that conversation that has the points remaining to get into it.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can, but other than that, it seems pretty set. Those are the 5 teams.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In terms of people outside who have not clinched yet, there are 3 possible teams at maximum that could clinch this week.
Yeah, we have Inkslingers Neo and Spectacular Dolphins Refresh needing 5 points each. They are playing each other. No, they're not.
We're not. Well, Inkslingers isn't playing this week, but
They're on bye,
Next week
but
they're
that doesn't mean they
playing.
can't clinch this week.
They're playing next week. No, they played last week. Blah.
Well,
They
bye week
played
this
last
week,
week.
meaning they played last week and they will play next week.
Yes. So they're in no control. They need Splashdown Crusaders to miss 6 points to clinch this week. Spectacular Dolphins are playing Name Withheld, so they have some control of that destiny. Any
yeah.
point they get on name on them will get them a little bit closer. And then we have, with the magic number of 10, playing Planet Firefin this week is the Claptraps.
Yep. Who are the Claptraps against again?
They are against Planet Firefin, and of the 3 teams we mentioned, they have the best chance to clinch.
It could end up happening this week. Although 10 is definitely a high point requirement for a single week.
It's a
Mhm.
high point requirement, but no offense to Spectacular Dolphins Refreshed, I don't expect they'll get any points on name withheld.
I
So
yeah.
the highest points that a team is likely to get goes to Claptraps, which they'd only need to win 2 matches against Firefin to get. And then everything else is dependent on Splashdown Crusaders and Liquidators. If that's a close set, then I don't think either of those teams, of those first 2 teams, clinch. Where Claptraps, they just need to do good well against Firefin.
Yep. So yeah. We'll see how that ends up playing out. The since there's still there's obviously always the chance for like an upset of some sort.
Oh, and I guess on the other side of the coin, in order for we talked about this earlier. Splat's technically not out yet, but it's going to be very difficult. They
Mhm.
basically need all 14 points from this week to stay in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're 22 points behind the playoff line. They're playing IOSYS. They need to get who's one of the teams they're chasing.
I really hope
They
that
need that 14.
they're having fun in spite of their lackluster results.
I do as well. But
Same
like I
here.
said, whoever the problem is, Liquidators, Crusaders are the 2 teams. Other Crusaders is just below the line, and Liquidators is just above, and they're playing each other this week. So you can't just chase the winner. You have to chase the loser.
Yeah. Basically, to avoid outright elimination this week, Splat has to make sure their
They
their
have,
point margin is not -6 or more.
actually, can they even catch? There's 3 weeks left, right?
There's 3 weeks left, correct?
3 weeks left. Potential points of 42.
Mm-hmm.
They can. It's at this point now. Basically, they have to hope
They have to
someone
be. They have to be pretty much perfect.
pretty much perfect and hope someone pretty much loses out.
Yeah,
A lot would need to go in their favor in order for it to happen, and
they
like
need 2 teams to lose out.
imagine if it happened though. That would be like the greatest story.
That would be a great story. I
Crazier
wouldn't
things
say
have
it's like
happened.
I wouldn't say it's likely to happen. I think it's like more likely that Splat ends this week ended up being eliminated because I think Liquidators Splashdown's actually going to be a close set.
Yeah, based on how those teams have been doing, I think that one's actually going to be close. Possibly like a good one to watch even.
They won't be mathematically eliminated because CB's not playing this week. Or actually, no. Yeah, if that's a close set, they're done. Each team only needs 7 points if Splat doesn't get any points against IOSYS to basically get out of reach.
Hmm. And if it's yeah, and it could be very close.
8-7 is not unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's not likely, but it's not unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic.
I think they get another week, but they need to basically hope those other two teams lose out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all this speculation's all fun and good. How about we talk a little bit about
Do you want to talk about the seeding race for the top 4?
let's take a detour over there. Let's see how that's panning out right now.
Well, Ocean 7 and UCSD Esports are like the clear top 2. UCSD Esports has the most potential points, and I think they'll end up at number 1 by the end of this week. We'll see what happens against IRS, but
Hmm.
as long as they get 4 points, they still have more potential points than Ocean 7, and they're going to start playing against the middle of the field, which they should beat.
Yeah,
Maybe not super handedly, but pretty handily.
based on their performance, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up dropping too much.
Which would get them the first seed, essentially. That being said, IRS coming off their best week of a whole season last week, so no reason to sleep on them. That it's no guarantees yet.
I
Oh,
have been of the opinion this like entire season that IRS has been like definitely like I don't think their results have been speaking to how strong the team really is.
they are very. They've got 14-0'd by Inkslinger's Neo, and then proceeded to 14-0 Dead Asleep, who's no longer in the league, but who 14-0'd Inkslingers the next week.
Yeah.
So a team's of very high highs and very low lows. But after that last week, you have to think that the highs are going to start presenting themselves more. That being said, they're just outside the top 4. They're 1 point behind Soul, 3 points behind Name Withheld, 112 possible points over Soul's 99, who's on bye next week.
That
Not
is
this week,
correct.
next week.
Next week.
So that's why they have higher potential points. They have one more match to play. And then Ocean 7 and UCSD, they feel pretty safe of getting the first 2 buys, that they're going to be seeds 1, 2, or 3.
I
Like,
think this week is important for UCSD probably more than any other of the last 2.
I think the other 2 are pretty secure with how they are. Name
Mhm.
Withheld's played everyone at the top of the table. IRS still has to play. I think it's Seoul and UCSD. I think they still have to play Seoul.
It would have to be week 12 if it happens, considering that's not on the schedule yet.
We'll
It's
see.
UCSD this week, and then next week will be Crusaders.
We'll see how each other team pulls, but I'd say that's probably likely.
I'd say that's pretty likely as
It
well.
it depends a lot on who Splat pulls down to play them, because they have to play someone.
Yeah.
Um, but the only other team with an outside chance of getting into the top 4 would be Inkslingers Neo, but with 90 points potential, they'd kind of need everyone else to cannibalize each other.
Yeah. It's out of our hands at this point. If we wanted to as captain of Inkslingers, I just have to flat out say if we were to get a top 4 seed, that would be nothing short of a miracle.
I think they could pass Seoul if Seoul has some bad weeks at the end, because there's only 9 points potential difference. But that's
Well, they've
about the
already
only
had
team.
2 already.
Well, that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
that's Inkslingers did also beat Team Seoul earlier in the season, but Seoul would need to drop the ball for that to happen, and it's the only team I see passing them. Them passing. I think 5 is the highest they could go, which gets you to fight the 12 seed in round 1. So not a bad spot to have.
Yeah.
You'd be playing Liquidators, CB, or Splashdown Crusaders, or potentially Splat.
Mm-hmm.
I think Inkslingers will take any of those matchups and say, okay, we're good favorites.
Yeah, we've been hard at work. I think that we've been gradually improving over time. Really, the playoffs are going to be like a real testing ground at this point because like our early schedule was, to put it bluntly, hell.
Yeah. The rest of the standings is kind of, I don't want to say it's mush, but it kind of is soup. Anyone could really beat anyone by any metric, all the way from Spectacular Dolphins to IOSYS. It just kind of depends who shows up on the day.
Yeah, it's really going to it's hard to say for what that seating is going to look like. For the top four, though, obviously, I think that the number 4 seed is probably going to be the one that's like going to be the most up in the air.
Yeah,
Based,
I think Specdolf hangs on to the 7 seed, but Claptraps are chasing, Firefin's chasing, IOSYS is chasing.
yeah,
Same thing within 15 points of each other, so within about a little more than a week's play. It's going to be
Yeah.
very interesting to see how seeding what stretches out.
yeah,
That being said, you have some map choices from the teams that have already clinched.
yeah.
Either you want to explain how the map pool for playoffs works?
I see. Can you take it?
Sure. Okay, so for playoffs, we do something a little bit different. We let the teams in the playoffs choose the map pool, but we have 4 that are kind of a lock-in by default. Those 4 would be
The
the
Reef,
Reef,
Wahoo World,
World, Inkblot, Art
Inkblot,
Academy, and Mako Mart.
yes,
Yeah.
and by default, all 4 of those are turned on. Or all 4 modes on those maps are turned on, as they're voted by the most to have been the most popular maps in the game. So we wanted to have the default 4.
Within our community, at the very least, as well. Yeah.
If we have
Yeah.
plenty of every map mode, we'll start striking ones that are less enjoyable. Like if we have plenty of Clam Blitz maps, we might strike Mako Mart clams, but by general, they're all turned on just
Yeah.
to have a good pool to pull from.
I felt like we were gonna need them anyway.
That being
Starting
said,
out, it kind of seems that way. We'll see
let's
though.
yeah, do we-
Can
so
we just bring up?
I'm not gonna say what teams have picked, and I'm not gonna
Let's just talk about the one that's already just kind of like.
why did someone pick Gobi?
Yeah, Gobi's in there.
Why are the first 2 maps chosen? And only 2 maps have been chosen. I'm not ratting out who said it. The captains want to say, or if they want to admit to it, they can do it themselves. Triggerfish and Gobi?
Why? Actually, why?
And we have TC and Rainmaker for both.
Can we talk about Gobi for a second? Because I feel like Gobi's the real bad one there.
No. TC Triggerfish is not much better.
I'm like, you pick Gobi and then don't give it its best mode? Are you crazy?
I don't know. I feel it. I'm
Gobi
not
is like.
surprised by who picked it.
I'm not surprised by who picked it either.
I
I'm just
just
like,
thought
you don't give it
someone
its
else
best mode?
I just thought someone else would pick a good map first.
You know, sometimes people just want to watch the world burn.
And we give them that opportunity.
Sometimes
We
I wonder
give
if we
people
give
a
them too much
dangerous
power.
power.
It's very dangerous.
It is something else.
I mean, if you can throw other teams off, it works to your gambit. That's why it's allowed. It also gets people allowed in choosing maps, but yeah, some people just want to see the world burn.
Yeah, some fun can come of it. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of the times it's just going to end up in a situation of we're just going to be dealing with some.
We want some fun maps and we want some competitive maps.
Yeah. And like the default 4 kind of handle the latter category.
Well, Not so much, but you're gonna have the higher up teams typically picking more competitively viable maps, and then you're gonna have the lower teams being like, okay, what are maps where I'm gonna gain the advantage if they get rolled?
Hmm.
Because picking default is not going to win us the game.
Yeah.
Also, you can't yell at us because you picked it.
They're if you want to pick something unorthodox, it's kind of like a counter pick. So that
It's
can
also
work out for that reason.
it's also probably the last time the system is going to be used, given that Splatoon 3 is probably not going to have enough maps for this kind of system.
At least at the start.
Not initially, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're like gonna go absolutely crazy on how many retro maps are coming back, but I doubt it.
Now, see,
Splatoon 3 suddenly has every map in the franchise.
they're all here.
I mean,
But
most of the maps from Splat 1 were at least in the data of Splatoon 2 at one
well,
point or another.
we'll see what it's like. I might come up with a curated map list for discussion, or we might just allow them all if we really feel like there aren't enough.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
have to
see.
see what the landscape is like.
And like we're gonna have to also like do like our own like testing and like feeling out of like how everything really is. It's
But
all speculative right now since you know
nope,
game's not even
yeah,
out yet.
yeah. No one has picked a Splat Zones map yet. We have Gobi, Triggerfish, and to be honest, considering we don't know yet, we'll have to see. I kind of want to transition to our non-league topics that I'm very excited about. Um,
Yeah,
Riptide
yeah. Riptide got
s-
announced.
got announced with September 9th through 11th. It is a Splatoon LAN that what's going to be the first Splatoon LAN that will what's the word feature Splatoon 3?
Yeah,
We
that
can at least
works.
hope. They
Assuming the
said
game
summer,
doesn't get
so
delayed.
we assume it'll be out before September,
Yeah.
but there's always the chance
Well,
it's not.
assuming no delays, it'll be the first one with Splatoon 3. They've
Yeah.
said as long as it releases before Splatoon first. So that might be our first look at what competitive Splatoon 3 will look. I know a lot of people have talked like, oh, the meta is not going to be defined yet. It's going to be incredibly fun. I'm personally going to be going because it is a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, like that's just convenient for you. For me,
Why am I letting you into my state?
I am. It is extremely iffy on whether or not I'd be able to go because of the fact that it is considerably farther away for me.
If you needed a reason to go, Icy versus Arbiter IRL, you already have a reason.
Preventing I'm not going to be lazy and actually make the 2-hour drive to Sandusky, but
Hey, even if you get eliminated on day one, there's still Cedar Point. What?
hopefully it doesn't rain that weekend.
It always rains that weekend. Don't. It's me and Cedar Point. It always rains.
So you're the reason why I can never go to Cedar Point.
Well, well, if it's raining, then maybe that's enough for me to show up.
Gotta rain on Icy's parade.
Look, I like rainy weather, so
So do I, just not when I go to an amusement park.
Yeah,
fair
because that
enough.
kind of ruins it. Like, I don't mind 65 and mist. I think that's ideal, but
Yeah. But no, I'm very excited. IPL or Inkling Performance Labs is putting this one on. If you've been paying attention to low level competitive, you know who IPL is. They're the guys who do low ink, they do SOS. They basically been taking care of a lot of Splatoon's content over the last couple years, especially
Mm-hmm.
from the competitive side. So, pretty good people putting it on. I wouldn't worry about anyone that's running it if that's a concern that people have.
Yeah.
But I've heard nothing but good from the previous Riptide, so
Oh yeah.
I
well, after 2021 got canceled till 2020, but
don't want to talk about it anyway.
yeah.
But if you want to go to Splatoon LAN or just want to punch me in the face for some reason, unbeknownst to anyone, I'll probably be in Sandusky for the 9th and 11th for Riptide. So, and it's not even the only gaming event going on; it's just the one that we're going to talk about.
I'm just
Yeah, who wants to talk about the other one?
Yeah, it's not like there's some kind of Smash game that we already referenced there. Or
Yo,
Rivals of Aether.
is
Or
Nick All-Star Brawl gonna be in Riptide? That would
I don't
be
know.
amazing.
I'd have to find the tweet. At twitter.com/Riptide, I believe is their page. I believe it's just Riptide. They're currently running. It's being put on by the same. Low Tide City is being put on by a similar tournament organization. For everything, IPL is just handling the Splatoon side for Riptide. So, oh, if you, that's happening in I think 2.5 weeks in Austin, Low Tide City.
Huh.
Who in Arbiter? Who'd want to punch you? Lots of people, apparently.
yes.
Some of them may be even in this
I'm
call.
on
Who
teammates with
knows?
some of them.
Look, Arbiter, if I get to like get my revenge on you for
For
no
what?
particular reason, you know, I was just I started that sentence and I then just realized, wait, I don't really have any grudges. I just want to do it because I think it would be funny.
You want to do it because Red City do it.
No.
You just
Just to
want
be
to
clear,
double
I
down
don't
on
actually.
Red's reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what Red's reason is, but whatever it is, it's probably legitimate.
I don't know what Red's reason is either. I just know that they're very passionate about it.
Red just probably chose violence, if I'm honest.
Red wakes up every day and chooses
Yeah.
There's
So, like,
a
I joke with Arbiter. I don't actually want to punch him in the face. I might do it for a joke and then do it dab me up later. I
Well,
don't
you're the
know.
first person to say it's a joke when they say that.
I
oh,
don't actually have malice towards you. I
oh
don't have a
yeah.
reason to.
Well, yeah,
I've got plenty of
it's a friendly rivalry that I constantly poke at you. That's
I
definitely the reason.
I have so many other people that I owe punches in the face before Arbiter.
Damn.
It's mostly because I've known them for longer.
I still gotta figure out if I'm going with my team or if I'm gonna try and get Inkslingers to go.
Yo, if Inkslingers could go, that would actually be sick.
I know I talked to the one teammate I currently have, and plans currently are that we're going, but we need to find 2 other people.
Yeah, I think that's the rub, isn't it?
It's currently the rub of why I haven't played this game in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oof.
Has recruitment also stalled? Just to go on that.
We just if you're constantly recruiting and you know the game's about to end, it kind of makes it difficult
Hard.
for you to get out of bed, grind, be like do tryouts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially when you have now figured out that the first event you're gonna do is gonna be a Splat 3 event.
Yeah.
Or not the first, the next event.
Like
So
I'd be down with going to like a little harder on Splat 3 than I did for Splat 2 cuz like I felt like with Splat 2, I didn't really find myself with this game until like very late into its life. So like you know, a game where I have a fresh slate is when I really want to like actually start going harder, and that's just straight up not going to happen until that game comes out, and I feel like that's how a lot of people are feeling right now.
I just am looking forward to a time where the first thing out of every person around my level's lips are not the words fuck armor and fuck missiles. I would like a more positive sphere where things are actually being discovered.
Oh no, it'll be the freak the crab tank for a while. I'm absolutely sure it'll be that.
Oh
Now
yeah,
that that being said, that's another thing I wanted to talk about because
yeah.
that was something that literally the day after the last cast, I saw a bunch of people talking about ways to balance missiles. And I'm gonna be real. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm going a little. Actually, no. I'll let you guys talk, and then say my 2 cents. What I know, specials in this game are very spammable. That is like a core feature of the game. Missiles and armor specifically are the big 2. You guys want to say anything before I go on a rant?
All right, so I'm going to say, okay, so I'm going to start with just saying, regarding armor. I've been the longer I play this game, the more frustrated I get with armor. It's not because of the fact that I think it's like this all-encompassing thing that's like the strongest special in the game or anything like that. And spoilers, I don't feel that way about missiles either. I do feel as if though that that it by itself invalidates a whole lot of weapons that would have a much easier time if it weren't for the fact that a lot of the armor weapons kits, like the common ones, are so good.
The kits would probably still be playable if armor wasn't as strong.
Yeah, that's the reason. It's not just because armor itself is strong, the kits that armor is on are strong.
Yeah.
That's my take on armor.
I see. What are your thoughts on armor and/or missiles?
I don't know. I speak as someone who thinks about armor's weaker side. I know it's strong as a special, and it's like hard to combat.
Oh, right. You're the person I yelled to shut up the fuck up about buffing armor.
I
Look, man, it's kind of hard for me to agree when most weapons also just one-shot armor off anyway.
yeah. But that goes back to what my point is. The
You
weapons
got
that
30
can't
more
one
health.
shot, the weapons that can't one shot armor suddenly become so much worse. There's
You
a
have
reason why
30
this
more
is
health.
like not as much of a sniper or blaster game. Like,
You have 30 more health than everyone else.
Hi, yes, there are still weapons in this game that do more than 100 damage.
you don't get one shot through armor though. Like, realistically,
Not from full.
no. Plus, it is team wide, so like effectively,
Also-
your whole team is getting 120.
Yeah.
Which is a lot in a single team fight.
Not to mention latency will always work in your favor. If you're armor.
I feel like
What-
I have
what's your-
actually counterpoints against that. But
What's your take on missiles? I guess?
It's not.
Because missiles is
No.
the discussion point I saw.
Yeah.
happening.
So
I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to argue against missiles because I guess it's like it's not this end all be all thing for me. Missiles are easily spammable, yes, but I'm just like there's not really a lot of weapons where I think the spammable end of missiles actually is to its benefit.
All right, I'm gonna start my rant a little bit.
can I actually get my thoughts on missiles out quickly? Because I just talked about armor. I didn't talk about missiles at all.
Go ahead.
All right. I am not one to agree that missiles are like so strong to the point of like needing to be like a problem of being a problem. However, I do recognize that missiles are very useful and right now some of the best weapons in the game also happen to have missiles and can get them very frequently.
Okay. So I'm glad you touched on frequency because I think that is what's playing a lot into people's thoughts. But I want people that think missiles is very strong. It's a moment of constantly being barraged is not fun, and someone having 30 more health than you is not fun. Now I have a counterpoint. What is less unfun? Having to move every little bit so that you're not, even though you're taking little bits of chip damage, or getting one shot for daring to walk around a corner that you had fully painted.
So
And I'm not even talking about charger
yeah, you're talking about like
or blasters. I'm talking about other specials. Namely, and this is the one I'm going to focus on because this is the one that armor and missiles keeps in check. Baubles.
bubbles are also just the more that I look at bubbles, the more I just kind of realize that special is actually kind of nuts. Yeah.
Also, Booyah Bomb is forced to. Weapons like the K-52 are forced to move because they've been missiled. What is like more unfun? I have to shoot guy one more time, or I literally cannot make this guy move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I am inclined to agree. Like, for the point
I
of there does need to exist a special that just forces people to move because
I
stalemates are not fun in any shooter.
I will I will
If you
fully
have
agree
played
they are too
CTF in
spammable.
Team Fortress 2 for any amount of time, you know that that mode sucks because it's always a stalemate.
I will fully admit that they are too spammable, and I'm glad that we touched on it because that's the major issue they have is they missiles at least resets the moment you fire them. You can start building them again.
Yeah.
Armor, you kind of have to wait to the duration, but if you get chip damaged out, you can just start building it again because it only cares about your armor when it comes to restocking. But so the spammable part is the issue, but them being spammable also keeps worse things for metagame in check. And I
Yeah.
know it sucks for Charger players. They're kind of just caught in the crossroads for this. Because
So if
not only
it's
does their one-shot gun not one-shot, which feels really bad, they also can't stand in one spot for longer than 10 seconds, or they're immediately going to get deleted by 130 health man.
This isn't even the only. These aren't even the only specials in the game that force them to move. Like Booyah Bomb and missiles are definitely among the more common ones to do it. But let's not forget Stingray. Stingray also exists in this game, and is while it is also a boon to some chargers because
Stingray
it's
being one of the first ones people discovered this would be
yeah,
strong. 10 missiles were strong before, but no one. They had a lot of quality of life problems.
a lot of quality of life problems that ended up getting they ended up getting
And
buffed
then
to
they
a
got
point.
buffed like 6 patches straight.
They got buffed like for a long period of time, and we also got a kit that really I think presses on why the spammability of missiles can sometimes be a problem, and it's the weapon that I am currently playing on stream, which is K.
K-shot is one of the. No one is going to debate that K-shot is one of the best 5 weapons in the game, and missiles is a good portion of why.
Yeah, but like on top of that, it is a splatter shot, so it's already pretty decent at painting. The special charge for it is honestly not that bad for it.
A
Again,
fast kill time.
fast kill time, and sub is suction bomb on top of all of that.
Yep.
So
And the
huge object damage, as well as just the massive blast radius that just shuts down like any area it's thrown at for the entire duration that it's there.
honestly, you probably, as long as the special you're giving it is not splashdown or something that's completely counterintuitive, this kit would be good.
Yeah. And thankfully, we already had a splashdown splatter shot, so there
Heck,
was no shot that it was going to get it.
Flings a Roller has the exact same kit, and it's considered an anti-meta pick. It's not a meta pick because it has to sit too much, but it's a weapon that is good right now that people are not playing.
Yeah. As someone who has someone on their team who plays Flingza almost every match.
That being said, these specials are not powerful on their own.
Yeah.
Armor has a powerful effect, but you still need people to use it.
This
Bubbles will just. My teammate calls it the outskill button for a reason. It's like, you cornered me. It's a 1v3. Outskilled.
yeah.
I just
Um
win now.
Yeah.
That is the most powerful special in the game.
and it's on another one of the most powerful weapons in the game right now.
People would be more angry if armor didn't exist. If armor didn't exist and missiles were less spammable, because Squeezer is the best weapon in the game, and it has bubbles.
Squeezer is a
Yep.
disgusting weapon, and like when I like dabbled with it, I was just kind of like, this is not an easy weapon to pick up, but for anyone who actually can like get a good grasp on it, holy shit, why was that weapon okay?
It's a high bar to entry, which is, I think, why it hasn't gotten touched at all, and why a lot of people. It's taken so long for anyone to talk about that weapon the way I have been. But that weapon is stupid. It has the same range as a Jet Squelcher. It has a lethal bomb, which they did not give Jet Squelcher at all. I'm sure a design choice was made actively to make sure it didn't. And it has a special that will just one-shot you, or you can just laze it over a bridge to keep control of an area for long periods of time. That kit is broken. You do not even need to play the main gun to have success with Squeezer.
Yeah, just ranging people with bombs and just like just being able to flex that massive range and like being and the flexibility of having splat bombs and the bubbles, which you can pop very quickly to just
And it's not
instant
it's not
because
it's also
instantly
not
have
the
a
it's not the only gun with the similar kit. Kensa Roller, I mean, you just don't get the special very often. Painting is not reliable when you're a roller, so that's the issue you have of why the kit's not just good on its own. You still need something that can paint. And then Forge has a similar kit, but the suction bomb is too expensive.
yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be any more expensive than the Splat Bomb. They take the same amount of ink.
Isn't it 5% more?
No, they're both 70.
Both 70. Oh, right. You can't roll the splat. You can't roll the
You
suction
can't
bomb.
roll the suction, but why would you need to? You get 40. You get 40 extra object damage. So
You don't always want to buy.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy the like. Oh, like it's hard, therefore it's balanced. This weapon is not balanced. If you
Yeah.
don't have K-shot already in the game, one of K52 is also one of the things that's kind of gating it a little bit, but you have options as a squeezer against 52 more than you do against K-shot. This weapon is not fine. This kid is not okay.
No, not even
This
remotely.
this it would be required if K-shot didn't exist. It would be required to have a squeezer on every team that wants to be competitive. I want that to sink in to anyone that's been in this discussion.
Yeah. Like also like here's the thing. It's hard so it's balanced also doesn't work because players will get better over time.
Oh, you also have the extra range over Forge Pro, which is
Yeah.
another. Why does it need every
Like
fast? It has a fast kill time. The only downside is like, oh, you have to aim while constantly pressing the trigger, which is a muscle memory skill you can earn.
That's not hard to do.
like
It's not as hard. It's
Yeah.
like you just have to get used to it.
so all this is basically to say that like yeah, right now like we've kind of found like right now like the community has more or less found like the strongest weapons in the game and through a combination of usability and how strong the specials are and just how good the kits are in general. And like I know that I think that the reason why that like the specials themselves are often talked about is because it's like they're the specials. They're often
You
the
see them in every game because you're gonna get like 7 or 8 of them in every
yeah.
if the person's playing optimally
Yeah. You're going to
or
see them
even like
constant.
semi-optimally.
You're going to see it constantly. The weapons themselves that these specials are being played constantly. You can't escape them no matter whether it's turf, ranked, or league, or like competitive
They're also
events.
they're also easy, which is I think that's really what people don't like about it. But stop feeding, get good.
Yeah, like here's the thing. Just because a weapon is easy doesn't mean that like the counterplay is hard.
There's plenty of easy weapons in this game that people main that they'll claim they're mightier than thou because they play. Orange Zap is not a hard weapon; it's just a worse weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, but it being worse makes it hard. No, no, you you took away your lethal bomb. You did that. The kit didn't do that.
By the way, here's the other thing. There's this is all like a this all turns into a cycle, by the way. Weapon is something is found to be strong, People end up complaining. People find counterplay to it. They implement the counterplay. Then the counterplay to the counterplay ends up happening. Sometimes the weapon itself can adapt to the counterplay and start.
Missile started off as a counter to Stingray spam.
Yeah. But when the counter becomes the meta, then something else has to become the counter.
Yeah. I think people just don't want to put too much thought into what the actual counterplay is. They want to try like little off meta picks, but I see the same 3 weapons always being thrown around as potential counter picks, and
And
they're
they haven't
weapons that
worked
have been
out,
tried.
really.
They've been being tried for over a year. Orange Zap I already mentioned. But it has more range, and it kills slower, and it gets the same amount of missiles, so you don't even get the paint benefit.
And you don't have and you have a worse bomb.
You don't have a real bomb.
Yeah.
You have a trap. I think really
The kit
K-Shot is definitely better, but I think it depends on situation.
the
How
kit
do
can
you
carry
want to
you,
play
but
that weapon?
the
Yeah.
kit can carry you, but it's not a counter to K-Shot, it's not a counter to 52, it's not a counter to Splash. And
Yeah.
those are the 3 weapons that have stepped up and stood out. If you want to play a counter weapon in that position, it needs to beat 2 of those.
Yeah.
Of what I call the weapon triangle, which is Splash-O-Matic Neo, Burst Bomb, Suction Bomb Rush, K-52, Wall, Booyah Bomb, and K-Shot, which suction bombs missiles. You need to beat 2 of them.
Yeah.
And there are weapons that can do it.
Absolutely. Is it ever going to be easy? No.
No.
Nope. They're meta for a reason, because they're easy to play multiple ways.
There's also another wrinkle in the current meta that's kind of like part of the reason why probably the discourse has gotten louder. It's because of the fact that balance patches have basically completely vanished because of the fact that, this game is not going to be the active game for a while.
I brought it up earlier. Like, Bloblobber and Flings are the 2 biggest counter meta picks because they make it very difficult for the meta comps to work. No one people will say, "Oh, well, X people are trying." It's like, relative to the player base, no one is trying these. No one is playing these because they decided they don't like the weapons play style. But it's like, if you want the metagame to develop and you don't like the weapons that are played, it's like, this is a very clear way we could go. Or you could try to bring Tent back and pair that with Roller. I don't know.
Yeah. Now we're
It feels
getting
like
back
people
into
are. It
the
feels
Church
like
of
people are
Tent.
just. It feels like people are just done with this game, and it doesn't feel like anyone wants to actually innovate, and they just want to have discussions about things they find annoying rather than things that are good.
Not everyone is an innovator, unfortunately.
Some people are followers rather than leaders.
But that's kind of what I. Missiles stops so many things that I think people would complain a lot more about. But
Mm-hmm.
that being said, we did talk about balance changes, but usually one of those spots will get announcement of balance changes, or at least announcements of what's coming. E3's been canceled.
Yeah.
There is no E3, like, at all. It's not Nintendo not being there. It's not, oh, the major people aren't there. It's just gone. They're not putting it on. There's not a replacement thing going on, for as far as I'm aware.
The major, the only thing that we can really be sure of is that the major companies are probably just going to have
Their
their
own events,
usual announcements digitally around the same time.
which Nintendo was doing anyway.
Nintendo
So,
was always doing because they wanted it, because, obviously they want to capitalize on the E3 hype without actually being at E3.
but
Sony had started to do the same thing. It stands to reason all of the major publishers are going to do that.
yeah, that being said, what it does do is make the timeline of when we're going to get news a little murky.
Sort of. I think it winds a little bit, but I don't think it's that much wider.
We don't have a date we can point to right now that says, this is when Nintendo's event at E3 is, therefore that's when we're going to get Splatoon 3 news.
You're right. We don't have a concrete date, but I still think we have a range. Just
Yeah.
because Jeff Keighley's still doing the Summer Games Fest, I feel like everyone's just gonna move over to that since we don't have E3 this year.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I make no promises when it comes to Nintendo. I know people are very much looking for news, even though we just got some month and a half ago,
End of
end of
February.
February.
Yeah.
Every February Direct, we got Salmon Run, which I think actually looks exciting because it's combined all my favorite parts about Clamblets
Yeah.
into a mode I didn't really care for, and now I'm excited.
I have also
Oh,
I'll also go on record saying I did not care for Salmon Run all that much, and Splat 3 Salmon Run looks like a lot more fun.
yeah, just the added dynamic of I don't need to go all the way back to base. But I don't know. Feels like that's not enough for a lot of people. There's been a lot of are we people saying Splatoon 3 might get delayed just because of the lack of news, but it's only been a month and a half, right?
I'm not thinking delays. I think people are just starved for information.
Maybe.
I
Oh,
feel as if like it's probably a little bit overeager, a little entitled even, like to like be expecting more information too soon, like after like the last trailer still was like only about 2 months ago, not even.
Well, I'm also thinking about it like this. I'm pretty sure this is Nintendo's premier game for summer, and there's nothing else blocking it anymore. Especially this year since Breath of the
uh,
Wild 2 got delayed. So,
Sunbreak, Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
well, Sunbreak isn't Nintendo.
No,
Xenoblade
but it's
is
Nintendo's.
probably the holiday title for this year now.
No, but you
Yeah,
can definitely get some traction. There is overlap between the Splatoon 2 and Monster Hunter community, whether people realize that or not.
that's true.
I've been becoming more and more aware of it as of late, mostly because that's been the game I've been playing for the last 3 weeks instead of Splatoon.
Well, Monster Hunter has been like slowly breaking more into the mainstream as of the last couple of entries anyway, after World did really well.
Oh my god, we could have a whole podcast on my thoughts on Monster Hunter right now, but
Well, that's going to be a derail for another day, I think.
yeah, when Sunbreak comes out, I'll tell you guys all about it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be sitting here like I literally have not played since pre-Iceborne World. So,
Oh, you
I'm
should play
just gonna be here
Iceborne
like,
World.
what's a Monster Hunter? Knowing what a Monster Hunter is, I just don't play it.
I've been thinking about playing World again, but I need to finish Content and Rise first. That being said, I mean, oh, I feel like we still have 3 months until the supposed release. Late July is where I put the window. Mid to late July. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts, opinions, or I
I
think we'll get news
July
in
July
May.
feels right to me at this
July
Late.
point.
feels right. It's a
I
really
think we'll get news in late May. I think it's going to start ramping up about mid to late May. Like if you're Nintendo, you know the whether people want to admit it or not, the people that are playing Splatoon now are going to buy Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
hmm
That Nintendo knows that, or at least assumes that.
Like you don't
And we
need to market to the existing base really. Like a lot like we were sold from the first trailer.
suppose yeah. There might be some people that don't get it at first out of a little bit of spite from the lack of news, but they're buying it eventually.
or
They'll get
like
there.
or they might not buy it at first just for financial reasons or whatever, but like
Right.
they can feel pretty safe that like this is going to happen.
You're not thinking that fan base is going. So you're just be like, okay, when it gets close to launch, we're gonna be real hype about it, and then we're gonna start releasing a lot of news. And if we release a lot of news early, we don't have a lot of news to share later.
Yeah. Plus, like, also when it came to like up until recently, as in like the end of last month, uh, the major release on the docket was Kirby, and now Kirby is out. Nintendo can shift their marketing to another
It's been
major
out a
release.
couple weeks, 3 weeks.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're focusing on Resort right now, or the sports game.
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch Sports,
When does
which
that come out?
it
I didn't think that came out till fall.
I don't think no, it's not out yet. It had like a beta or whatever.
I know it had a beta that no one was allowed to share footage of.
Yeah, which was silly.
Ah, they said that for Mario Kart Tour. It didn't stop people from doing it anyway.
I didn't say it stopped anyone. I don't know. Give it Nintendo's thing. I'm sure we're going to get a test fire, and I'm sure it's going to be the month before the game comes out. So I'll say June,
Yeah.
because that's
Some
kind of
people.
been Nintendo's MO. They've been doing demos for all their games lately.
I wonder how people are gonna get upset about that because Splatoon 2 had 2. So
It had two. I only remember one. The Splatfest.
There was a test fire, and there was also like I thought there was like a E3 demo or something like that. Not E3,
I
but like
wouldn't count that the same.
it was like an early one. I think it was like March that year, and
I
then it
wouldn't.
was the Final Fest, the Splatfest preview one, like the month before or 2 months before.
I wouldn't call that a second demo, but I would.
yeah.
I assume it's the same version that's being shown on.
I don't know. So overall though, like I think it's still likely that Splatoon is probably going to get another news drop, like probably I would say within the next month or so.
I would say mid-May.
Mm, that
I
sounds
would
about right.
I would hope it's early May, because then I would be a great birthday present from Nintendo. But I'm gonna say mid-May.
I mean, as
It
for me,
depends
I'm
on when
also
Nintendo.
like, I'm currently waiting for more news drops for two major releases right now for me, and the other one is Pokemon because I have a problem.
Correct. What's the other one?
Oh no, Pokemon is the second one. Splatoon 3 is the
Oh,
first one.
I thought you said two other, so thought it was. I was
I
like,
mean,
Pokemon's one. What's the other?
if we want to talk minor releases though, and I'm going to call them minor releases, regardless of how
Patrick!
people feel about them, uh, personally, I am going to be very
Patrick.
much looking forward to Klonoa because that is a childhood series for me.
I've been told
Yes.
it is basically the Invaders in video game series.
Yeah, kind of.
And
Um,
for anyone's like, what does that mean? Incredibly niche and beloved by the niche.
yeah. The
Yes, Clear One, the game they had to remake twice.
the other game that I am very very looking forward to right now is Live Alive. That is a game that I have
Oh,
already played. As a matter of fact, I played a fan translation on the SNES via emulator,
I
and
I heard so
that
many
is
people excited for that game. I have no idea what it is.
it never left Japan up until now.
What
That's
is it?
why.
What is it?
It
it's an
is.
RPG.
It's an RPG using a kind of like a grid-based battle system that tells stories, like several stories from like a whole bunch of different time periods in a fantasy world. And the hook for all of it is that they're all connected,
Okay.
like across time. How they're connected is spoilers, obviously. But that's basically the hook.
Okay.
And each of them like offer unique twists on the standard gameplay formula that you would expect from like a Square RPG of the time.
Oh, it's from
It's
Square.
it is a Square RPG, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I could joke and say Octopath before Octopath, but it's not
I'm
actually
probably
good.
not gonna play it, but that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, well,
That's a
the joke
Square.
is Live Alive is better than Octopath.
I feel like I feel like I feel like just saying it's Square tells me a lot about the game already.
Yeah. Also, soundtrack's a total bop.
Understandable.
Listen to some of the music that's been happening. Nintendo's been posting some trailers that show like brief snippets of each of the scenarios. Listen to the music in those. It's so good.
Understandable. But no,
The boss theme from the game was so good that it inspired Megalovania.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Didn't know Toby took information from that. Okay.
and
Yeah,
now
like
you know.
this is like this is public knowledge.
So,
I know this now. This is something I now know.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Like,
Anything else? Anything else, Par?
no, nothing more than just like give the game like one of my highest recommendations possible. I think it is just one of the coolest RPGs that is just barely anyone knows about because again, never left Japan for the longest time.
I just hope Sunbreak doesn't come out, or Splatoon 3 doesn't come out at the end of June, because then I have to deal with Sunbreak and Splatoon 3.
I've already said this. You know it's going to come out that exact same week because I know
Shut
how
up.
this works.
Shut up.
Look, if I have to wait, you have to too.
No. No, I don't.
Favorite weapon, fresh squiffer. That's me. I'm bad at it though.
Favorite weapon is the 96 cal. Most played weapon is the K-shot. Which I also like, but you know.
Junior for me, but that's just because it speaks to me.
You might want to get that checked out.
I know, I'm going crazy. It doesn't work out. Arb, any games you were looking forward to on the docket for this year?
Sunbreak, 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 Sunbreak.
Okay,
Monster Hunter expansion DLC Sunbreak June 30th. I am it is why I have played 3 weeks of Monster Hunter.
fair enough.
I'm at 82% on the guild card for anyone knows what that means, and I have half the crowns I need for 2 more of the achievements.
Well,
So, yeah.
I like Monster Hunter.
You've really gone all in on it, huh?
I know enough
for,
people who play it.
Yeah.
for context, 4 of the achievements are very much easy for me to get right now. 50 quests in the lava caverns, I'm going to get that from hunting Teostra. 50 rampages is probably going to be the hardest for me to mentally do. I don't like rampage as a mechanic. I have one of each palico in the cooker. I just need 7 more levels on the last one. One of each, both the largest and smallest crown. Working on it. Have half. There's 2 crowns like that. One's a gold crown, one's any crown. I'm about the same distance for each. And then, shoot, what's the last one? There's one more I don't remember off the top of my head. But I have all the ecologist awards, so... Oh! 5,000 golden spirit bugs, which is the alternate currency spirit bugs.
Hmm.
Which I'm pretty sure I'm close on. I have no idea. I probably will have that one before 1,000 monsters hunted, but I'm more than halfway on 1,000 monsters hunted. And I'll probably be like 4/5 of the way there by the time I get all the crowns.
Goodness.
Yes, I like Monster Hunter. Oh, last one is all the scrolls and decorations, which one of them is complete RNG based.
Oh, have fun with that.
I'm only missing 2 of 14. So, but if they never come up, then that's sad.
Oof.
But I'm pretty close on all the scrolls, and I'll get the rest of them just by proxy of hunting 1,000 monsters. Reminds me, I need to kill 6 more to the final boss.
Man.
Don't check my time in the game.
I don't have to. I can already tell it's hundreds of
I
hours.
don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's probably near 1,000 at this point.
Probably. Considering
No.
how often I've seen you in call just
You know what? I'm
playing.
looking it up. I'm gonna be sad. I'm looking it up. You guys entertain for a bit.
Uh
Well,
Well-
I guess for titles I'm waiting on this year, I guess outside of Splatoon, I can't think of anything really major. I'm also with you on Klonoa remakes just so I can actually play those for the first time. So
Sonic Frontiers or whatever, if that ends up coming out this year, I guess.
There's no way that's accurate.
I mean, I want to believe that they've been waiting on it for so long, but also it's kind of telling me they're not ready to show it yet. So I'm thinking it probably will get delayed again.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel I remember seeing like the one teaser for it and like nothing else since. Is that accurate?
Yes, which is funny because that teaser also got delayed a year.
Eh.
No way that number is accurate. So
Uh,
supposedly I'm not even at 200 hours yet.
oh gosh.
So I've been an efficient little fucker.
Oh, apparently.
Have you been playing on multiple platforms or has it just been the Switch
Nope.
version?
No cross-platform,
Oh yeah.
as far as I'm aware.
But have you bought it on PC?
No. I played World on PC. How much time do I have on World? Probably a lot more.
Huh,
I don't know how much time I have on World.
185 hours for anyone that's curious.
interesting.
On my Rise gameplay. Which, I don't know. I don't know how much that is compared to everyone else.
But yeah, I guess Frontiers will be there if it comes out this year. Uh, Something a little niche for me, which would have been my game of the year 2021 had it actually came out last year and not gotten delayed. Little game called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah,
When was it coming out?
I've been seeing you go nuts over that one in the Soul server.
I'm convinced that
Yeah,
game is never coming out.
please don't. I
It's like
need it.
Prime 4. It's
Oh,
not coming out. Ever.
oh, oh,
I'm
but
in as much pain saying that as you are.
yeah. But no, I'm super hyped for Shredder's Revenge. Turtles in Time is actually probably one of my favorite games of all time.
I have
So
I have not played very many beat 'em ups, so I can't really say like I don't have very much experience with the genre. I've heard like a whole bunch of them have been good. I've tried a couple. I started playing River City Girls somewhat recently.
It's not my style of game.
Yeah, I feel like I'm there as well. Like, I missed the boat on getting into beat 'em ups. It kind of I feel like because like it's one of
yeah,
those.
that's fair.
I feel like it's one of those genres that if you got into them, you really got into them, and you needed to like have played some specific games in specific
For
environments to get into
in
them.
in my
Yeah,
opinion, the way to understand if you're gonna like those games is if you like any kind of Dynasty Warriors game. And I'm just it's not for me.
I
I think
will
that's
say,
weird for me because I actually am not that big on Dynasty Warriors too much,
yeah, I
but
don't
I
think
like
there's.
beat 'em ups as a genre.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I don't particularly care for beat 'em ups, but I also do enjoy me a Muso.
That's weird because for me on the outside, they look very identical in terms of the beats that they're going to
I
hit.
think it's because there's some key differences. Muso games are like on the whole easier. uh, for one, uh, you get your flashy attacks without as much effort, really.
Mhm.
And really, the skill ceiling in Muso is really just it is similar in the sense that like it's how much you can combo without getting your shit wrecked. But
Yeah.
actually getting those combos is a lot easier than in beat 'em ups where you have
Actually, you know
to.
what? I'm thinking of it like this. I think it's mainly how they're portrayed. Since Muso games are basically you're like this one man army and you get to like do all this flashy stuff and it doesn't require a lot of effort, so you can turn your brain off. Beat 'em ups are more about the friendship experience. They're more fun when you're not doing them alone.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I tried doing
Yeah.
River City Girls alone, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is all right. This is charming. I'm not super. I wasn't getting super into it though. And then I
Oh,
started getting stonewalled at a boss, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna get back to this at some other point.
I've only
Mhm.
have 300 hours in Monster Hunter as a whole.
Huh.
This feels so. I feel like I've played so much more than that. Oh well.
I think just me being a must became a thing for me because I feel like I can classify myself as somebody who's actually pretty old school, all things considered. Feel like a lot of growing up, a lot of my roots were probably in those arcade areas at the time.
Yeah, not
So
Not me as much.
Yeah.
I grew up with console games. I grew up with a PlayStation, a GameCube. So games, a PS2. So games from from those eras are like more, or what I'm more nostalgic for. And the specific kinds of games that I ended up playing were by and large platformers.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I feel like I think I grew up with an NES, at least as a child, before I got my PlayStation 1. The first game I ever played was the original Super Mario Brothers, but I think arcades kind of just spoke to me a little bit more at the time. It's about this drive of like, all right, well, scores matter a lot to me. Challenge. How well can I do this thing? I think
yeah,
that just kind of stuck with me. So that's why I'm kind of just like, I'm not as hard on lives as everyone else is in that discussion. I feel like arcades are probably just the main factor in that. So,
Oh boy, arcades.
yeah.
Um, that being said, what else is happening outside? Oh, so this is more a topic from me and Red being in a stream.
hmm
Team products or soda products or just
I
when
saw
you
that.
think of a team, what are they in your mind?
I saw that bullet point and I was just kind of like, I really need you to elaborate on this when we actually get to it.
Right. I wanted context so
What do you
bad.
mean? What do were you not there at the shoot? What game was it? Was it Inkslingers Neo versus Spec Dolls? I forget. Whoever it was
I
just
mean,
me and Red were having a discussion of what each team would be as a flavor of soda.
oh, that's a hard one. Jeez.
We had Courageous Boomers Retirement Home as a root beer. Soul was, I think it was Solar Emerald Cherry or something like that.
Sci fan to me just says we taste like Chaos Cola, but we don't even know what Chaos Cola tastes like. So,
Tastes like space.
God,
uh,
it
now
tastes
you're
like
making me
water.
crave. You're making me crave that space cola again.
no, Solar Emerald Grape. That was, um,
So we know Knuckles would like our drink.
we agreed Splashdown Crusaders would kind of be like a grapefruity flavor. I think a lot of them are the details are escaping me, but it's just like I don't know, fun thing to think of what teams would be. I guess
All right.
like like maybe a cereal or something. I don't know,
All right.
like just something dumb, stupid that
Yeah,
has like
I
no connotation.
honestly, I'm for it. I like it.
Maybe we think about this and come back to it the next time, or I don't know.
Or
This is something
why don't
we
we off the cuff like think about like maybe like a different thing, since like you and Red covered soda. Let's try, what if all of the teams like
like
were
cereals, candy bars.
no, what if they were bands?
Oh my
Oh
god.
gosh.
What genre of music would they be playing?
Well, we all know that soul is if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
I was gonna say butt rocked, but okay.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. I
We're
feel like
gonna
that
say
might be a
what?
low hanging fruit, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why I was thinking butt rock. I was like, you know what? That's the obvious answer. That's the low hanging fruit. We're gonna be the most like crush for you. That's butt rock. Why not?
um, shoot. I mean, Splashdown Crusaders would just be an anime intro theme.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, they're literally a JoJo reference, so.
It's true.
Um,
Um,
boomers would be like electro swing and be old styly music, but they're all young, so it'd have to be new timey old music.
I'm thinking like Caravan Palace specifically. Do you think that fits?
Maybe.
New Jack Swing? Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Uh, What would Ink Slingers be?
That's it. I feel like
There's,
Ink Slingers
so
might
many
have
ways you could go with this.
Ink Slingers. I feel like could go like a number of different ways, and I think it depends on if you're talking about Ink Slingers Classic or Ink Slingers Neo.
Oh, I don't think that narrows it down at all.
You know, fair.
Jazz Fusion?
Because you have me that would be like, oh, that's dubstep. Half the people hate it, the other people tolerate
Alright,
it.
no, nope, you know what? You said dubstep, I'm meeting you halfway. EDM.
No. Because then you have people that are like full anime intro. Then you have others that are just like
Man, I would want it.
8-bit video game music.
I would want
It's
it
so
to be
weird.
I would want it to be EDM if I'm gonna be honest. I love EDM.
Maybe it is EDM. I don't know.
It's a good genre. Good genre.
But
What's an ED? What's a, like what EDM band would it be?
Oh great, now we're going into subgenres of EDM.
We were talking about bands.
yeah, we are. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right.
Would it be Tristan? I don't know.
Do you think there's a team that would go for like an epic orchestral sound?
Epic orchestral.
Yeah.
UCSD, baby?
Maybe.
Under what basis do you think?
I mean, that was
College
the one that
band.
was in my head as well.
College band.
College.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, true.
I was gonna say it would either be them or Name Withheld. I think if there was one.
If there was one, yeah.
Yeah, if there was one.
I
Yeah.
don't ask me why. I don't know. Name Withheld's probably the team I've interacted with the least this season, but that is not by lack of opportunity. I've just not been, or that's not from lack of trying. I just haven't been
Yeah.
available.
You haven't been available. I don't know. I don't have a lot of them either. Part of me was thinking grunge, but I don't know how I came to that conclusion.
What do you think Specdolf sound would be?
That would have been my second option for anime opening, but now I'm thinking
Oh, that's
Saturday
just the
morning
circus
cartoon.
theme. Dun, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da,
So there's
da,
Cirque du Soleil. Okay. I feel like part of that
No.
also describes Cole. Here comes the clowns.
Oh. I feel like that's like slightly mean, but I also can't disagree because I was also
Yeah.
thinking it. For...
We could even do like past teams.
What would Splatter
Someone
Swim would have been? Yeah.
I don't know.
FT win just would have been Sephiroth's theme. We're just ending it there. That's exactly what it is.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Um.
I think Splatter Sim would probably be like punk rock or hip hop because they're kind of like off the beat, but also kind of like off the beat, fun loving. But
Yeah.
they're not like crazy. It's not like full out.
It's not. You haven't gone full into alternative.
It's not like
Yeah.
dubstep or classic rock or anything like that. It's just like, which is that cool thing that you're like, oh, it's on. Oh, cool. This isn't normal. And I like not normal.
Okay, so if FT Win had Sephiroth's theme, then what would C's have had?
What's Kefka's theme?
Dancing Mad?
No. We gotta keep it in ties with the team. They definitely would have had the final boss theme for Persona. Which one? That's up to your discretion, but it would have been a Persona final boss theme.
I mean, you
Just
say
say
Persona Final Boss
Four 'cause
theme.
It C's.
I mean, if you say Persona Final Boss theme, I will immediately think of Persona 3 specifically.
Whichever one C's is from, because that was a Persona
Yeah,
reference.
like that literally is actually.
It's whatever
Well,
that
it's
one was.
Aegis, but I don't know if that's 3 or 4.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that
think
is
it was-
3. That is 3.
Okay.
As someone who has played Persona 3, 4, and 5, I can tell you C's is a reference to Persona 3 to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
that's
it
what
would
it
be
would be.
Persona 3 then. Yeah.
So that's what it would be.
Yeah. So it'd just be the battle for everyone's souls.
Which team would you think
That
would be the closest
sounds
to?
really accurate, actually, hearing that title name, that name of the song.
HLS would have been New Age.
Eh,
I could see it, I guess.
I'm not huge into music, so this topic's a little weird for me.
All
Which
right.
team do we think we're gonna get the closest to like hip hop?
Okay. So it's like the new thing. Would anyone be the Blues?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure for either of these, honestly. Like for hip hop or the blues.
Blues?
Oh, I think Splatter Swim is probably hip hop, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I could buy that.
All right, Icy. Let's hit you with a deep cut. What do you think Calamari Combo would have been?
I was going to ask you because I was thinking about it. So, part of me is thinking, well, it's mostly Here Come the Clowns, but we also have.
Look, I think
What else would
Dolphins
it-
embodied that a little bit more, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
Part of that is-
Combo was bad, but we were trying. Is
we
the
were
thing.
trying.
You need a theme that like it inexplicably stops halfway through.
E-Rank from Sonic Unleashed. I don't think it's inaccurate. I don't think it's inaccurate. It describes someone trying but failing so hard,
And then it just stops halfway through.
and it just stops halfway through.
We're letting the air out of the band too. Jeez. Oh, holy. We got 4th place that season.
Maybe Octozuka's is like jazz. I don't know.
What would Hartford Whalers have been since Zephyr brought it up?
Brass
Chat.
Bonanza.
Brass Ninja. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm thinking about
It was
it.
their
Intro of
theme
this probably would have
song.
been
They
like
know the
polka,
answer to that
probably polka or waltz.
German folk music.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, like polka, probably.
What would
Would anyone be rap?
rap?
Who would be hardcore?
Who is like an attitude team? That we haven't mentioned already. Because we already Ocean's no, not Ocean. I read that from the chat. Ink Slingers would have been my first thing, but we already agreed they're EDM.
Yeah.
And I think that actually fits better. So
Yeah.
See, I like rap, but I can't speak for the rest of either team I've been a part of, so I don't think that's working for me.
Rap's never been one of my bigger ones. It took me a while for me to warm up to it.
Yeah.
And even then it's still not one of my it's not even like a top 10 genre for me. So Snowfall?
maybe it's not. Nah. Well, I feel like I know certain people on Snowfall that would like rap, but I don't know if I would describe them as rap.
Salt Shakers, possibly?
Nah, that team was way too goofy.
No.
Same for IRS. You can't.
I feel like
you can't call those attitude.
yeah, no, I can't call any butter team an attitude team.
To be fair, I think you can work rap in the goofiness because the lyrics don't have to make sense.
It's not about making sense. It's about
Yeah.
it's about the underlying idea.
Full meme music. Siva Gunner rips. Is that what IRS and Salt Shakers would be then?
Oh
Yes,
my God,
yes, if that's an option,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, they're specifically the Space Jam rips.
Oh god.
Oh gosh!
Those aren't even my favorite ones.
Come on, it's welcome to the.
I think my favorite ones are the ones that are actually clever. Like, they
Yeah.
actually work in songs together.
Are you saying those aren't clever?
I mean,
can be.
They can be.
A lot of them are kind of forced, though.
R.I.P.
Some of
Silver
them.
Gunner. Nintendo killed you.
What would Unolings have been?
Ooh, that's
That-
a good. I think like something that invokes like a game show type deal.
Game show like
The Price is Right.
I was thinking Price is Right, but I didn't want to go there. Maybe.
Now you're making me think who Jeopardy would be.
Well, what was the team that would overthink things? Because that would be whoever. That would be Jeopardy.
I need you to be more specific, sir.
You know what? Yeah, that's very true.
Have the Baby Park Space Jam in a playlist on YouTube. I have way too much fun here.
yeah.
Apparently, we do.
We've just kind of let this just completely take over at this point, and you know what?
You know what? I'm
It's been a
okay
lot
with
of
that.
it's been a lot of fun. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed this goofy topic to round things out.
I look. You have to have a fun, like, make you think, but stupid topic.
It's a
Yeah.
palate cleanser.
Next
You get
time we'll
serious
talk
for all
about.
that
Next time
time?
we'll talk
Yeah.
about what kit we want and with what non-existent special or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
If we have something topical, we can do that.
Yeah.
I still think the most fitting one is Cirque du Soleil for
Here come the clouds. I don't know. I think me admitting just combo was the E-ring from Sonic Unleashed also got me.
Yeah. God, that one still kind of like makes me sad a little bit because I was like, God, the circumstances for that was like
We tried.
we tried, we got fourth.
Just stopped halfway through.
Music and nature stops.
It really just kind of comes down to that team just was not happy by the end of the season.
I think a lot of that had to deal with first season jitters, among other things. We'll leave it at that.
A lot of things happened there, but yeah,
There were lots of things. We don't need to talk about them all.
we moved
I don't know
past
why,
them.
but I'm thinking about this now. Isuba would just be Luigi's theme from Mario Strikers Charged.
Oh, you mean like Spanish, like Spanish?
Yeah, just like the Spanish Latin, like in that genre.
Maybe that's Uno Links.
Dachi's theme would fit so many people here. True.
What? Whose theme?
Persona 4 character. I
Oh,
think
I
we're
don't know who that
specifically
is.
talking about the Persona 4 arena theme.
I don't know
Which,
who that is, but that's who Kanan said would fit Splatter's.
Yeah. By the way, on the subject of that, boy am I looking forward to actually trying to get into that game in summer when it actually has rollback netcode on PC.
What game?
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
More fighting games need rollback.
Yeah.
Looking at you right now, Bamco. Also Capcom.
We know that it's coming. It's not coming until summer, but it's coming.
Eventually.
The game's already out now with delay-based netcode, and like I've been thinking about dusting off my stick and getting back into it.
Fair, the games Arceus has been trying with rollback has been working really well.
Yeah.
Strive's been doing well. DNS used it for both of its betas, and it seems like it works fine.
I just want to play my favorite Axe Girl again.
Now, why would you want to do that?
Because it's really fun hitting people with an axe.
Let me ask you a question. Why?
Comedy.
Ha ha ha!
And that's
Woo!
making me think about fighting games. I need to get back in the fighting games again. I've fallen off.
I've also fallen off, but I also just don't have time. It's
I
like
want to get like play Strive, but also Monster Hunter.
I'm learning a speedrun.
Why?
Because I love Ratchet and Clank.
Oh! No, I won't talk about that.
I'm literally learning, like, the original Ratchet and Clank.
No, I believe you.
I'm planning on doing NG+, for the record.
Understandable.
Just, looks like a lot of fun. And, from what little I've done for practice, it has been fun. Learning the tech has been very satisfying.
Well,
good to
that's
hear.
good.
And if that goes well, and I hit my goal times for that, game, I might learn Kingdom Hearts 2.
You'll have all the time in the world before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, like, 6 years from now.
Yeah.
Certainly is a game. What'll come out first, Kingdom Hearts 4 or Prime 4?
You know what? I'm going to say it. I think Kingdom Hearts 4 will come out first.
Are we just thinking Prime 4 is not coming out at all?
When was the last time you heard any news about Prime 4?
Okay, you know what? Fair.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't think we're getting any more news on Prime 4 until late this year, if any.
Why do you have to hurt me?
Because it's not coming out this year, so there's no reason for us to get too much in the way of updates.
I want to be excited.
Look, just play Dread for the 5th time.
5th. That's funny.
Yeah, it's true. It's probably more like 15th.
I
That
can't
is
wait for that to be
closer.
me when Treasure's Revenge eventually comes out, because I know it's going to be me.
You're right, that is closer. Probably
Boy.
like 10th. It would be 10th. I'd still probably run Mega Man X more.
Yeah. No, knowing you and how much you love Mega Man X, yeah.
I should be. Why am I not running that right now?
Arbiter, do you play X Dive at all?
Do I play what?
Do you play X Dive at all?
No.
I'm just curious. You said Mega Man X, so I was curious.
No, just the original Mega Man X. I played on the Mega Man Collection.
Ah,
On the
okay.
Switch.
Was
Where I
this
have
for
to
if you were
claw
going
grip.
any...
Where I
Yeah.
have to claw grip to dash at all.
Oh gosh, that sounds like a terrible button layout.
It's not good.
I mean, you can remap them, can't you?
I've gotten used to it.
Like, one thing that I always do with Mega Man X whenever I play it, I'll usually put the dash button on, like, a shoulder button.
See, I want to do that, but
I'm
you
used
can't
to it
use
being
the
the-
back two shoulder buttons on the X collection for some reason.
I think it's because
And the shoulder buttons are hard to switch to your weapons without you having to pause the game.
Oh.
it's not ideal.
I'm going back up in chat briefly. Melty Blood Type Luna, that's another one that I was getting into for a while, and then, like, my friend group I was playing at all fell off the game at exactly the same time, just kind of getting frustrated with the shield mechanic.
I'm gonna guess because Strive came out.
No, it wasn't because Strive came out. We weren't playing Strive. But
It's because Melty Blood is definitely very niche for a fighting game.
no, we all like Melty Blood. Like we liked years and years and years ago we played the original Melty Blood, not the original, but like Actress Again Current Code. But like in our in like an old Skype group even. And
Boy.
yeah, so
Going back-
when we saw that a new one was coming out, we were like all over it. And then after playing it for a bit, we just kind of all fell off at the same time because some of the mechanics didn't sit well with us.
Have you tried standing?
I get it.
Comedy. I feel bad. That's just like I'm thinking about. I tried to. My friends, since we are like big on fighting games, we try to go in all the time. I was thinking about Melty Blood, never bought it. I said I was gonna try Strive because I really like Exert.
I
Never
bought
bought
Strive.
Strive.
I have pretty much
Never
just
bought
only done
Strive.
I've only done training room stuff in Strive for the most part.
9 shields in a row. Jeez. Yeah, that's basically the exact reason we kind of got, like... We fell off. We got so frustrated at how good Shield was. Like, once we realized how good Shield was, it's like... Yeah, we just kind of decided not to play anymore, which
Sh-
was a little
Shield is always a
upsetting.
fun mechanic in fighting games. Trust us.
And like, it's a little upsetting because I was really having fun with the game, but like, if not for that mechanic,
Eh.
This is really telling me I need to go back to the fighting game I am
How
actually good at.
how you defend is very determinant of how good a fighting game is,
yeah.
for better or for worse. Usually, if shielding is going to be the option, you have to have a good option to kill the shield.
Yeah, unfortunately, while there is technically counterplay, it comes out super fast and basically does not have any like it basically does not have any like actual cost to it. Like, oh no, you lose a little bit of your moon gauge. Anyway,
Oh boy, not the power of the moon. If only we had the power pack taste of Sunny D.
it's not that bad a cost, and like you
I don't know.
can,
That's a tough thing to balance. I feel like.
yeah.
No one said it was easy, just
Yeah.
very detrimental if you get it
I'm
wrong.
just thinking. This is definitely an old example, and definitely very niche. But I'm thinking about you go the other way. Hey, can I interest you in Sonic the Fighters, where your blocking is a projectile is a limited option, and if you run out, you just can't block anymore?
I mean that's balancing on blocking,
Yeah.
which is a thing that needs to happen. Otherwise, blocking. Look, defensive options are really feels bad if they're too long, if they're too good. There needs to be counters to defense, which I think Strive is good at.
Strive, I think, like core balance, has been pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah.
It's not as much of an anime fighter as its predecessors in the sense that like the combos aren't quite as ridiculous, but I mean
They simplify things for Strive,
yeah,
but I
like
think that makes it more welcoming as a
Romans are
result.
still in there.
Romans
You
Yeah.
are
don't lose
yeah, Romans being in there does help at least.
simplified Romans, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's
they're
still some
still
sick things you
Romans.
can do.
There
Oh,
are still
absolutely.
Roman cancels.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know what a Roman cancel is, look, explaining it to you is gonna take longer than the rest of this
You
podcast.
press a button and actions happen.
That's just fighting games.
Yes, but that is specifically what Roman cancels is, depending on the type of Roman cancel you use. You know what? The fighting game I think has a good balance. Can I interest you in premier fighting game Tekken 7?
You
Sure,
know,
as soon as you go pro.
if I were to ever pick up a Tekken game, I think 7 like has to be the one that I try. But I think
It
that's
is the
largely
most
because of the
welcoming.
fact that like it's been around for so long that I'm starting to struggle imagine a fighting game landscape where Tekken 7 specifically wasn't out and part of it.
Well, here's the thing. It's as old as Street Fighter. Actually, no, it's younger than Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, which is fucked up because Street Fighter 5 I felt like should be the one that I think about first, but no, Tekken 7 is like that one that's just like right now the one that is just the one
Well,
I
it's
think
just
about
because
when it
Street
comes to
Fighter
big
5
fighting games.
started mediocre and took 3 years to actually get to a decent spot, and is
Yeah,
on the way out. Where Tekken 7 is the best-selling game in that franchise.
also Street Fighter 5 like kind of hemorrhaged a bunch of players during that mediocre period and never got them back.
I was one of them because my main was bad at start and only got worse.
I mean, I honestly never played Street Fighter long enough for me to find a real main. So, that's the boat I'm in.
I never played Street Fighter. Honestly, there's only 2 real fighting game franchises I actually played. One of them was Guilty Gear, where I played Potemkin. The other was I think it was Blaze Blue?
So you've played Arxis.
Yes. Whichever one had the dude that turned his wife into a robot and then did the same for his daughter. But did it for sake of the sun. I don't look. Don't ask me to explain the morality of these characters.
No.
It's Arxis. There is no morality for these characters.
Well, of course there is. It's just poor.
Oh gosh, now it's just making me think about how dumb fighting game lore is.
Oh,
I could
yeah.
go on an entire discussion on that.
I am probably a derail for another time, honestly.
Yes, yes, it is.
Did someone say derailed? I definitely don't do that.
No, yeah. No, it's not like this last, like, like half an hour
An
was
hour.
nothing but a gigantic derail.
That I definitely didn't start.
Look, it's fine. The train went off the tracks, but no one's harmed. It's okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're Gucci.
No one's hurt yet.
Now might honestly be a good time to start wrapping things up anyway.
Fair enough.
I think we've hit all of our talking points, and,
Yep.
I'm also,
we
like,
we hit our
tired.
quota. We hit our quota for derailment.
I'm also starting to get tired anyway, so, Icy, you got anything fun coming up? You got a match that that is being scheduled?
Yeah, we got Ocean 7 coming up. Probably will happen. So flipping our bye week and our actual week. We'll see when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Arbiter, what are you up to?
Trying to figure out times. I mean, I'm doing some help with Chugga on his LP project. Still, that's been fun. Takes a good amount of my time though. But playing Monster Hunter, I probably post clips at some point or pictures at some point on Twitter. I don't know when. Just twitter.com/anarbiter. Nothing
Yeah.
with the Splatoon team is getting done anytime soon, it seems. But
You might just have to wait
when
for
it
Twitter
does,
for that
it'll be
one.
Splatoon. It'll be Impulse_Splatoon, most likely. Other than that, I'm just kind of coaching people, trying to help them do as good as they can in the PSL season. So
Yep.
just trying to cheering them on, making sure they have the best tools that they need.
As for me, I believe our next opponent is going to be Splat, and that's next week, though. So, that's what
Yes.
Inkslingers is going to be up to. For me personally, though, I'm probably going to flip stream on at some point or another, and I'm just going to start running Ratchet and Clank on PS3. And we're gonna do NG Plus runs. Probably gonna do a practice session before that, but yeah, my goal time for that is going to be, I want to get, it's really just, I'm gonna be going for, like, 5-minute barriers, kind of, like, to start. So, like, I'm gonna try to get a sub 40. If that goes well, I'll go for a 35, then 30, and then from there, it's just gonna be, like, let's see how well I can do.
And the answer will probably be okay.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm just working on 100%ing Rise before some great comes out. So
Yeah. I'm also just occasionally just going to be doing stuff, but yeah. My online presence is usually, like, fluctuates, so outside of my friend groups, so yeah. But I am hopefully going to actually start running Ratchet proper.
That should be fun.
yeah, I'd be excited. I'll probably be in chat for that.
Oh,
Or not.
I
I don't
think
know.
probably.
One day I'll remember that I have a Twitch channel.
What's a Twitch channel?
I don't know.
It's that thing that we're on right now.
What? We're on Twitch? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought we
I
were
thought
on
we were
YouTube.
doing this on YouTube Gaming. What was I thinking?
This isn't YouTube.
All right. Well, all that being said, thank you everyone for coming out to officially unofficial, and we'll see you back here in, like, probably like another 2 weeks or so. That's kind of what we're aiming for. We'll see if that ends up happening.
Hopefully one day. I don't know.
Yeah. We're
You'll
still
have to
figuring
drag
things
me out
out.
of Monster Hunter, so.
Yeah, I will make sure to get this uploaded as soon as possible. Those of you who did not catch it live.
I don't know, like 10 of you.
Yeah.
We don't claim to be a big podcast.
No, but we are a podcast.
By the legal definition.
It's the bare minimum.
All right. Who can I throw everyone over to real quick?
Shaq is streaming, Barry is streaming. I don't know about anyone in John's community. Those are those big Splatoon people that are online right now.
What is Barry's channel?
Twitch.tv/theberry. I'm gonna take that to mean that there's not really any John's. Actually, was John gonna stream tonight?
John was doing Mario Kart stuff
Is it just
earlier.
the Barry? No,
Oh, was that earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Barry.
no special punctuation or anything.
Not to my knowledge. I think there's 2 Ys.
In terms of John's community, people he knows streaming right now, Keon's live, and
Oh, Kion's live. Let's go say hi,
Yeah.
Kion.
Oh, Kion's live?
yeah.
Yeah,
For
Kion's
some
live.
reason, I thought Kion ended a while ago.
All right. Well, Kion's playing FF14, which I was playing before this podcast. So, yeah.
What? That's not Monster Hunter.
Wait, that's an MMO. That's not Toontown. What?
Yeah, go figure. There was a patch
Toontown.
recently. It's a very good patch.
Toontown. What a deep cut.
All right. I'm gonna throw y'all over to Kion. Have a good one, everyone.
I don't know why
Enjoy
I thought
your
John
night.
ended already.
Slam that raid button and gone.
Huzzah.